Hey, what's up from Southern California? It's November 14th, 2025. It's raining like cats and dogs outside. This video is my fourth movie review. The first movie I reviewed was 14 Days in May. The second movie was The Iron Claw. And the third movie was One Battle After Another, which came out in 2025. This fourth movie review is for a movie called Come and See. That's the title of the movie, Come and See. And it's from 1985. Personally, I'm going to be taking a little break from gaming and posting gaming videos and just posting videos in general because the holidays are coming up and life and work is getting busier. But about the movie, and this is the third time I've seen it. So I saw it a decade ago, and then I saw it again, and then last week, or was it 2 weeks ago, I saw it for the third time with somebody else who happened to not like the movie. It's directed by Elem Klimov. It's spelled Elemklimov. I have a hard time pronouncing Slavic names. It stars Alexei Kravchenko and Olga Mironova. Again, it's from 1985, and the subject matter is World War II. And it is one of my three favorite war movies ever. And I think all three of my favorite war movies are based on World War II, and this is probably the best one, I think, out of all three. The other two are Conspiracy from 2001, which I think was a British TV movie production starring Kenneth Branagh, and the third one is Downfall, the story of the last days of Hitler. But anyway, as far as this movie, Come and See, it is an absolute masterpiece of a movie that I think everybody should watch. First off, I think with like war movies, the messaging that really speaks to me personally is that war is bad. War is always bad, and that's the message. I don't like war movies where it's like, we're the good guys, we kill the bad guys, and yippee hooray. I like it where it indicates to you that war is bad. And this is especially how should I put this, topical issue, because as I'm speaking right now in 2025, for the last 3 years, there has been a major land war happening in Europe. And it's full-out war. And it's been so many years that people have probably not noticed that it's like happening, and people are dying every day. Innocent people are getting killed. But Come and See. So it's set in 1942, I believe. It says so in the opening credits, the year it's set in. I don't remember if that was before or after the siege of Stalingrad. But essentially, the premise of the movie is it takes place in 1942 in Belarus. So it's in an area that's not part of modern day Russia, that the Nazis were able to kind of steamroll through. And that's the premise of the movie, is basically we follow a young boy who's around 13 or 14. He's literally going through the process of becoming a man. He's going through puberty. He's a teenager, and he's Belarusian. He has a mother. We don't know if he has a father. He has two sisters, and they're living in territory that is being pummeled by the Nazi army, basically. And it doesn't say in the movie, but I would assume like the Soviet army was hightailed it out or got destroyed, because most of the people who were fighting the Nazis weren't like regular Soviet army members. They were what you would call like partisans, or guerrilla fighters, basically. So we follow this boy, and the story starts off really simply. It's an old man who's the village leader, basically just yelling at the kids, telling them, don't play around, in this war zone. Don't try and dig up, war pieces and weapons and stuff. And so the character we follow, his name is Flora, and he has a little buddy. And the opening scene of the movie, they are playing hide and seek, basically. They're playing like toy soldiers, like they're literally like imitating Nazis and stuff. But they're having fun as kids, and then all of a sudden they find a rifle in the ground. It could be a Nazi rifle or a Soviet rifle. I'm not exactly sure. And what happens next is our main character, Flora, he wants to join the partisans. He wants to basically join the resistance fight against the Nazi occupiers. And he goes through an incredible and very dark journey. There really isn't too much to spoil in this movie. It's just the main character gets put through hell in order to get from the beginning of the movie to the very end. And the ending of the movie is very special. It's done in a certain way. I don't want to spoil it. This is one movie where I actually don't want to spoil too much. But the point is, the main character, he's like 13 or 14, and by the end of the movie, he looks like an old man. Literally, he looks like a 60-year-old man. And so it's incredibly well acted. There are videos on YouTube that explain the movie and the process of making it and so on and so forth. You know, the director had a hard time getting approval for it to be made because it was, 1985, the Soviet Union. And I will say the movie has a very strong art house vibe, if you will, meaning it's one of those like artsy fartsy movies that most people don't like, but I happen to like, for example, one of my favorite movies, probably favorite movie of all time, is a movie called Still Life. It's a Chinese movie, and it's like basically 3 hours of just camera shots with maybe 50, 60 lines of dialogue in total. So this movie's like right up my alley, but some people might be turned off because there is not a whole lot of dialogue. There is not a whole lot of exposition. It does show more than it tells. And the irony is the name of the movie is Come and See. And again, I would rate this movie a 10 out of 10. It is incredible. It's a movie that really stays with you, especially the last scene. And I think I saw an article a few days ago talking about this movie, saying like this is like the worst possible date movie. And I happen to agree. This is not a good movie to take your date on. It's a very, very dark war movie. It is incredibly dark. There is rape, there is torture, there is mass slaughter of civilians, and it's just an incredible movie. And as far as like the portrayal of the Nazis, I think the movie gets the tone correct. You know, some of the Nazis were just Belarusian people who were selling out their fellow countrymen and working with the Nazis, collaborators. And then there are Nazis who are true believers. And so you have this one Nazi, I'm not sure if he was an officer, but he was a true believer, and he knew his death was coming, and he was still saying to the partisans and to our main character, like, literally he was saying, you are subhuman, therefore you do not deserve a country to have, and because we are superior, we're going to overtake your country, and it doesn't matter if you kill me, we're still going to overtake your country. So a lot of bad stuff happens to our main character. Basically anything you can imagine that's bad, it happens to our main character, and he has to go through it. And it's a pretty long movie as well. I don't think it's over 3 hours. I think it's between 2.5 and 3 hours long. But it's just a jaw-droppingly amazing anti-war movie. And I think all my favorite war movies have that anti-war vibe to it. You know, Come and See, The Downfall, which portrays Hitler's last days, you know, and it's really terrible. And lastly, Conspiracy, which is a movie that documents the Wannsee Conference in the early 1940s, in which Adolf Eichmann gathered all of his lieutenants, and basically they conspired to execute the plan to kill all Jews in Europe. So I definitely recommend you watch Come and See. It is a breathtakingly, beautifully shot movie. I mean, the shots are beautiful. The sound is beautiful. From what I understand of the way that it was shot, the director used actual live ammunition. And you actually see it, like live ammunition. is going like just inches above the main actors' heads and stuff. Live ammunition and also live artillery, I think. And so it's a very realistic, but also very impressionistic war movie. Again, it kind of has like an art house vibe to it. So it's not like exposition, and it's not like your average, it's not like Saving Private Ryan where everything's just given to you in exposition. You actually have to just pay attention, and you have to be patient with it. It does not have a lot of dialogue. A lot of it is visual cues and what they call, I guess, mise-en-scene or whatever. But it is a wonderful movie. In my opinion, it's the best war movie or anti-war movie, however you want to look at it. And yeah, definitely go watch it. And just keep in mind that there is a full-blown war that has been going on for 3 years over in the eastern part of Europe, Ukraine versus Russia. And I don't want to litigate like who's right and who's wrong, but just the whole situation is sucky for everybody, right? It's just a really sucky situation over there. Like, I have colleagues who, they're like, I have European ancestry. I'm going to immigrate to Europe because, I don't like it in America anymore. And I'm thinking in my head, like, dude, like, that's where World War III is going to start, if it ever does start, probably. So, yeah, definitely give this movie a go. It's again, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, 12 out of 10. The main actor, who was a child at the times, like 13 or 14, just did an amazing job. And again, by the end, he looks so worn and so defeated. Even though they win the last battle, he looks so worn and defeated. It just goes to show you how and why war is horrible. It's always horrible. It kind of ties in with like my favorite game of all time, which is Fallout 3. And the tagline is "War never changes." It's always horrible. It's always brutal, and it's always, unfair. And so, countries, governments, so on and so forth around the world should avoid war whenever possible, and work to avoid war because the civilians suffer immensely. And so, yeah, this is a really powerful movie. And I don't really have any opinions as far as like the Nazis, and all of that's super interesting to me. Hitler's rise in Germany and his rise in Europe, all of that's very interesting to me. But I'm glad that, fascism was defeated, and this movie goes to show you that the Soviet Union played a huge role in defeating fascism on the Eastern Front. It's funny, my grandfather actually fought in World War II in the Pacific Theater in China, but there aren't any Pacific War movies that I really enjoy or like. It's kind of strange. But yeah, come and see from 1985. Again, it's directed by Elem Klimov, and it stars Alexei Kravchenko. And you can probably find it for free on YouTube. I haven't checked. I watched my version on Amazon Prime, and it's $4 to rent for 2 days, or it's like $15 to purchase. It's definitely worth purchasing. I probably should have purchased it instead of renting it, because I will watch it more and introduce it to people I know. But yeah, I'm waiting for the video to get to 14 minutes because of my OCD. I just don't like the number 13. Come and see. Definitely go watch it. It is 2 thumbs up, amazing, very special, and it's one of those movies, again, that sticks with you like 14 Days in May.